This is the Anderson Pens Podcast, episode 11 for Sunday, August 5th, 2012. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
This is the Anderson Pens Radio Network. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. This is the, I guess we call this the Washington, D.C. Pen Show edition.
Oh, no.
So I guess top of the list is probably the Washington, D.C. wish list.
Oh, yours is way bigger than mine.
Well, it's not really because it's not really complete yet. But, I do have a couple things on the list, and I'll try to sort it out this week, and maybe we'll be able to find some at the show.
Or add more to it.
Yeah. It is probably, I don't know, the largest, second largest. I don't know how you compare it to LA, but it's one of the largest shows in the country.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your list. It's one of the largest lists you've had. Like, oh no, we're in trouble. All right, so pen show. You're talking pen show.
I'm talking about
huge
a pen show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to have a big list, don't you? Because if you can't find something, and some of my stuff is pretty obscure, if you can't find it, then at least you have something else. You got to have a backup plan. That's right.
Plan B, C, D, E, F, and when you get down to like X, Y, Z, then I know you have a problem.
Yeah, then we're in trouble.
Yeah. So what's on your list? I
have a couple of. I'd like to find some dip pen nibs for a couple of nice dip pen holders that I have. Here's just a selection of them, pretties. Most notably, a larger Aiken Lambert, probably number 5 size. That's for this particular holder here.
That's a pretty one.
It is, yeah. I think it's not quite big enough for a number 7, but I've got a couple of John Hollands and a Leroy Fairchild that all rest here without appropriate nibs.
Well, dip pen nibs, a nib itself, that can't be too bad. I like this list so far.
Well, the problem is if you find someone who's just selling the nibs are outrageously priced. They're usually they're too much. But if you can find another dip pen with the wrong nib, then you can get it for a reasonable amount. Speaking of nibs, I'm also looking for a Sanford and Bennett nib.
Still
looking for that one, but I've had pretty good luck finding nibs this year, so maybe we'll find that one. It shouldn't be too tough. Okay. And an early Aiken Lambert, number 2 size nib, but this one's got a little bit different. It has, instead of the traditional heart-shaped breather hole, it's more of a teardrop. So it's an earlier nib. It's for this sleeve filler here that I got for my birthday. So. The other option, of course, is to have this nib retipped, but I don't know that I want to spend that much. It's probably easier to find a good nib for it. But getting just nibs isn't all that much fun. So I do have a couple actual pens on the list.
Of course.
I'm still on the lookout for an Aiken Lambert Safety, preferably a full-size model. Not the lady size models that usually seem to be the only things that show up, but beggars can't be choosers, so I'll take what I can find. Full size would be nice though. Very uncommon. Maybe another nice second tier overlay. Carey, Williamson, Edison, Wirt. I've got this thing for Wirt since I missed out on a couple of those in the nice Wirts in the Raleigh auction.
All right, now I'm taking notes because this is also my Christmas and anniversary shopping list, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah. See, that's really why I'm making it a long list, to make it easy for you.
It's for me.
Yeah, it's for you.
Right.
And I guess last on the list, which is a actual real possibility, is I've got my eye on a solid gold Aiken Lambert dip pen that somebody I know will be there has. I handled it last year in Columbus, and it's really, really something else. Very pretty pen. In fact, this particular model is only marked solid gold. It's not marked 14K, 9K, 18K. It's marked solid gold. So presumably, and you could do some research, I suppose, to determine at what point they were manufacturers were required to stamp the actual content. But this just says solid gold on it. But if it's available, I may have to scoop it up. So
This is the one that had to pry out of your hand in Raleigh or Columbus or wherever it was?
I was in Columbus, and actually one of the reasons I didn't get it was because not too long after I saw it, you may recall, Rob Bader came up to the table and he says, "Hey, I hear you collect these," and he propped down in front of me a gold-filled Aiken Lambert dip pen set in the box. So I came home with an Aiken Lambert dip pen. It just wasn't solid gold, but it was a nice set. So
okay,
we'll see if the solid gold one's in DC.
Oh.
So anyway, how about you?
How about me? I don't hunt for as many pens as I used to. Overall, I'm pretty content with my little collection of shiny, pretty, pointy babies. I do always keep an eye out for any Sheaffer script certs that I don't have, or any that are in excellent condition so that I can upgrade what I currently have. Or even the Wherever script cert wannabes called the Lady Fair. Those are cool. They look like script certs, but they're more of a pastel Easter egg color. They're cool. And I want a really hard to find older style Namiki vanishing point that has like micro facets. So that's a difficult one to find. We saw one and just couldn't quite pull the trigger. And of course, once we decided we were going to, it was gone.
Right. It was $250 and stickered, so you can't use it.
It was mint. Yeah, you can't buy a mint pen if you're not.
Yeah. And maybe we should be clear on the script certs, because Sheaffer actually called a couple of different style script cert.
Right.
The kind that you collect are the clipless
ladies
versions.
Yes.
Yes. Usually with the Triumph style conical nib.
Usually, yeah.
Yep. So, cool. How about some of those 1970s Mont Blanc pens that seem to be accumulating in this house?
We have what, 3 now?
2?
2? Oh, we had 3. All right. Well, that's not too many. If I get too many more Mont Blancs, though, I may have to start hanging with Barry Gabbay and Osmond Sumer, world-renowned Mont Blanc experts. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. And Carla Mortensen as well. Yeah. I mean, between those 3 people, anything and everything Mont Blanc is available.
Yeah, those guys are, all 3 of those people they're in their own league. They're
amazingly knowledgeable about Mont Blancs, especially vintage Mont Blancs. I don't know that 70s Mont Blancs are as vintage as some of the others, but
probably scoff
I
at
like
them.
But, if the nib is nice and it doesn't look like a Mont Blanc, like ours, that's pretty cool. So I'll keep my eye out, but I'm not really on a hunt for that. And then there's a pen that's been on my mind. It's that darn Aurora 75th anniversary pen that Sarge has been tempting me with the last few shows. Yep. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pens at that man's table. It's like pen porn. It's just...
Maybe we can trade him something for that.
How many pens are we bringing? I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it's not much different than when I wanted my first Sheaffer Legacy. I think I traded 5, 6, 7 pens for the dang thing. So,
all right, we'll bring a bunch of your pens that you think he might want, and I'm happy to trade. But I don't normally like red pens, but this one just talks to me every time I see it.
Yeah. What does it say?
It says, "Take me home and buy me and love me." Note to self: stay away from Sarge's pens. Yeah, but it's difficult because he's so much fun and so knowledgeable and so sweet. So we just need to get Sarge away from his pens, and then we can talk to him.
Well, it's going to be tough because we actually have pens that we sold to him, so we're going to have to go to his table.
We'll get Tim to deliver it, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, the Red Anniversary is just talking to me.
It is. Well, we saw 2 in Chicago, so there's bound to be...
His was cheaper, and it didn't have the box. I don't need the box. I just want the pen.
Okay. All right.
Sarge, cut me a deal.
Yeah, if you're listening, Sarge, talk to me. I have an anniversary present I need to buy. Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah, there's the wish list, I guess,
yeah,
for DC. We'll see. I might add to it before then. Put something up on the blog.
I probably won't.
Let's see. Also this week, I managed to score on eBay for 1993 to 1994 early pennants,
Yay!
PCA pennant, including articles on the Eclipse Pen Company. Ed Fingerman wrote an article on Sterling dip pens, looks pretty interesting. Parker Nostalgia. There's an article in one of them by Michael Foltz, Pen Part Failure, which sounds interesting. And probably the main reason I wanted the lot was an article by on Esterbrook by Jean Esterbrook herself. So
Very cool.
I'm not certain I've actually read this particular article, so it'll be cool to see. One of them has a nice vintage color ad on the cover of Aiken Lambert, so that's kind of cool. But cool stuff. I can't wait to get it in. Hopefully we'll get it in before the show this week.
Oh, because otherwise that's going to drive you crazy.
It's going to drive me nuts.
Having that arrive on Friday morning. And...
Yeah. So we'll get that in and start pouring through those so that they look good.
Yeah.
So
when you were doing your eBay auction research for the podcast, you ended up shopping for yourself? How did that work out?
Well, it's a side effect of the job. So
I think they make medication for that side effect.
moving right along onto eBay this week. I got a couple of interesting auctions, and let's just take a look here.
All right, what you got?
The first one I actually did bid on, and I was tempted to go a little bit higher, and I should have. This actually is a pretty good deal.
Don't do it.
I was going to give one to you, honey. Vintage lot of 3 silver safety pens. Now, these are all essentially unmarked pens, all with 18 karat nibs. So French, presumably. Let's take a look. 3 of them went for $256.70, 11 bids. So for roughly, $80, a little more than $80 a piece, you have 3 sterling safety pens with 18 karat nibs. They're nice patina on all of them. Let's see if we can get a little bit bigger image here, but just a nice way to get an instant collection. And apparently the picture's not coming. Here it is. But nice patterns. You got a little chasing on this one, a little Grecian style. And the top one here has got an interesting, almost a Sheraton pattern. Little ding in it, but nice collection of 3 safeties.
Cool.
And restored, these would bring way more than $80 a piece for them. Prices on safeties these days have been pretty high. You can't get a restored safety for under $150. It's almost impossible, and especially when you're talking sterling here. And
yep.
But nice blurry picture there. But very interesting to find 3 in one auction. So, of course, when you buy one, you're going to have to assume you're going to have to replace the cork seals, or some people use the O-rings that David Nishimura sells.
Yep.
But assume you're going to have to repair them, and it's not easy and a little difficult to do. But
most people won't even try it. So
right, but with the safety, and a lot of times with the safety, you find they come with very flexible nibs, which is nice.
Wasted on me, nice for you.
Yeah, and as long as we're still on safeties, this one's some of you will recognize. A Waterman. Now this is 18 karat solid gold. It's a model 42.5, so it's a slender, but it's the night and day, which collectors have given the name to. Waterman called it modern, I think. But beautiful, beautiful slotted pattern. Always
Pretty.
very, very desirable. What did this go for? $1,250, 15 bids.
Ouch. Somebody wanted that.
Yeah, it's a nice pattern. It's very unusual. I won't say unusual, but it's harder to find. I have yet to get a night and day in my collection.
I know somebody who had one. I may be able to score one of those for one of your upcoming holidays.
Yeah. Very pretty, very clean. You can see the hallmark there. And this is very common for it to be marked 42.5 on the bottom instead of, solid gold would be 542, the 5 in the hundredths place. But it's very common for Waterman to have pens with overlays where they omit that hundreds column. Nice. The top of it looks nice. In fact, it's so nice you can even see the camera here and the seller's picture right on the reflection of the cap. No dings.
No extra charge.
No extra charge, yeah. But you can even clearly see this. I believe this one here is the French hallmark. So nice looking pen, crisp black, not a problem with it. And again, like we talked last week, this is how you sell a pen.
Good pictures.
Good pictures. These are clear quality. I mean, you can clearly see what these hallmarks are, the imprints. He's got every eighth of a turn practically of this pen. Every panel you can see. Very nice.
Cool.
$1,200, $1,250. So, but it's solid gold.
Yeah.
And last, but certainly not least, I was considering buying this for you for Christmas.
Oh, I think you shouldn't have.
This did not sell. And this has actually been up now, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks. I believe this is a German seller. I could be wrong. But a 560 plus collection. Mont Blanc, Pelican, Kaweco, Reform, Parker, all sorts of things here. In fact, they give a list of all the pens.
All right, 560.
560.
Let me get my calculator
Yep.
out.
Asking price $37,499. I
know I never paid that much for a car.
I think if you calculate that out, it comes to about $66 a pen.
That's crazy.
It's actually
who's going to pay $37,500
right.
on eBay for pens?
No, it's not to say that this doesn't happen. I know there are people that buy collections and they pay $30,000-$40,000 for them, but it's probably not the best way to do it. Now, like I said, this auction's been up on eBay now for probably pushing a month.
That would have to include like my airfare to go over there and pick them up.
Yeah,
I would be concerned. I mean, maybe it's worth it. That's just a whole lot of money. But on eBay, with the risk of scams, I'm not surprised that it hasn't sold. There's, to me at least, too much risk.
Well, now there's certainly, you can see from this image of the Pelicans, there are a number of them that are easily worth double, triple that. But you also have some of the lower end models here. I don't know if these are what are these 120s maybe. I could be completely wrong. I'm not a great Pelican expert, but I know these particular solid green barreled ones aren't as valuable. And that's what you do. You take the good with the bad, but
yeah, but I personally would be nervous sending 37. Is shipping included?
I think there's free shipping on this.
All right, so $37,500 via PayPal. I mean, does PayPal even let you send that much?
I don't know. You've got some cross pencils, some of those Sheaffer ballpoints. It's not the best way to sell 560 pens.
Bring it to the D.C. show.
Yeah, bring it to a show. Really.
3 hours, it'll be gone.
Or consignment off to somebody else. Yeah. But it's just interesting. You don't see it very often where you see this many and for that amount.
Yeah.
Now some of the stuff is clearly is pretty amazing stuff. Early Coecos and some early Mont Blancs. Some Russian pens here. I've seen these before. But yes, it's going to be a tough sell. It's going to be on eBay for quite a long time. And we'll see if it ever sells. So
37.5.
Yep.
Okay. And
So-
you did not take that home. It did not sell.
No, I did not. I did not make. Was not the one who made the offer there.
Okay.
So
All right.
anyway, that's eBay for this week. Moving on to modern.
Ooh.
I do believe we have some new stuff.
We do. This week we got in a few new things, including the J. Herbin Anniversary ink. I believe it's hematite. Really pretty color.
Yeah, it looks nice.
The J. Herbin refillable rollerball pen, which is really cool. And of course, in preparation for our Sheaffer giveaway, a large assortment of Sheaffer 100 pens.
Yeah. I really, really like this pen. I grabbed a brushed chrome. That's this guy here. And for its price, it's I think it's $38. It's quite a nice pen. It has the exact same fantastic nib and feed that is found in the 300, which I really like the 300. I think it's a great pen. In fact, the 300 has been in my pen case since I inked it up. And it's been several months now. This pen is a little bit more slender than the 300, a little bit shorter, both capped and posted, and therefore it's not as heavy. So, potentially for a different audience.
Ooh, like me.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of more upscale VFM.
The colors are really pretty, and I do like the matte finish on some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to snag the matte blue when you're not looking.
Yeah, matte blue is very pretty.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We also got in a really nice consignment lot with some very, very nice Pilot and Pelican pens. We listed some already on the pen boards, and we will be bringing several more of these to DC with us. All in excellent condition, and the owner gets big props for the best packaging and labeling system of any of our consignments yet.
Yeah,
This was aces.
Yeah, it was some of those Pilots I should have bought for myself. I really liked them. Black Stripe Custom, long Murex, very, very nice pens. We're just going to move along.
I did manage to snag one for myself.
Put it away.
I'll put it away. I'll be good.
We'll talk about it next week.
My baby of the week. Let's see. What's going on your workbench since we are getting ready for DC?
Well, I've got probably this week I'm going to be ramping up the repairs if I can find the time. I have a number of vintage pens that just have to get done to add to the cases. But on the repair front this week, we were blessed with a nice gift in the mail from a dear friend of ours. Several original Parker and Sheaffer shop manuals and parts manuals. I haven't had time to dig through them thoroughly just yet, but I know they're gonna come in helpful. I mean, they're just really invaluable resources. So it's going to be fun. I know I saw some of them were mid-40s Sheaffer manuals and how to repair the vac filler and what Sheaffer's take was on the whole thing. So very, very cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was really sweet.
we have Esterbrook discussion this week.
Actually, we are going to skip the Esterbrook question
no.
this week in favor of a question sent in by a listener.
We have a listener mailbag question.
We have a listener who sent in a letter, even.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's cool. And they wrote in about advice for newbies on collecting dip pens. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. This apparently is the DC and dip pen edition of the podcast.
A little alliteration.
Yeah, this is a pretty much a wide open field. I mean, it's very similar to other areas of pen collecting. There's a wide range of prices involved, and I suppose it depends on the purpose. Everything from well-writing Esterbrook dip pens. I happen to have one here, right here,
Of course you do.
with wood holders and steel or gold-plated nibs. They're very popular, even with artists to this day. In fact, last week I had somebody email and ask about using Esterbrook dip pens for drawing.
Yep.
So prices are reasonable. These guys here, you can find them all day long. Not necessarily even Esterbrook, but other manufacturers, $10 to $20 max, and that would probably include a large number of replacement nibs too.
Yep. Now, if you're looking for something more beautiful, you can find those with mother of pearl handles and 14 karat nibs, often with some gold-filled section to them. These are pretty common, and depending on the brand, if there's even one marked on it, they can run, I don't know, $20 to $50.
Yeah.
You also have hard rubber holders with 14 karat nibs, retractable models where the nib slides back into the holder. Those are kind of cool. And even combos with a pen and pencil as a combo retractable pen, handy for traveling.
Try to get this one to work here. Ta-da! There it goes.
Ooh.
Oops. And then, yeah, this is a combo.
It's like Puxatawny Phil.
There's the pencil. Yeah,
That's cool.
I love this one. This is a Maybe Todd.
So you're just going to play with your travel pen.
There we go.
Those are cool. I do like it.
Yeah, it is very cool. It's a nice big nib too on that one. So, what to look for? Well, if you want something with a 14 karat nib, I look for something that has the maker's mark on the holder and it has the matching nib.
Yep.
There are plenty of unmarked mother of pearl holders with generic nibs. Keep in mind, dip pen nibs don't have a breather hole. If you find one with one, it's probably a replacement. There's just no physical need to have a breather hole in the dip pen. Most would just be a straight slit, no breather hole. Yes, Esterbrook did make some dip pens with breather holes, but most 14 karat won't. Sometimes you'll see a Waterman nib in a holder. In fact, I saw one on eBay this week. It's a replacement. Examples of high-quality makers include, certainly not limited to, Edward Todd, Aiken Lambert, Leroy Fairchild, Maybe Todd, John Holland. And there are also a number of makers of high-quality holders, and then they would fit other manufacturers' nibs in the holder, including Mordan, which I just happen to have a beautiful example here.
That's a pretty one.
It's sterling, and it has the snail or chase pattern, and then it has some beautiful flowers in it as well. So Mordan Unger Brothers is really the Rolls Royce, if you will, of dip pen holders. In fact, I believe it was last year's Chicago show auction. There were a number of them. I think they were from the Foltz collection, and they all went in the 4-figure range. And that was without the nib. I mean, it just you pay for the holder.
Wow.
My advice, if you want to use these, start small. Get yourself a wood holder, some Esterbrook dip pen nibs, the ones that come in the red and black boxes. We talk about them every now and then, and play with them. And once you get the feel of it, how to dip and write, then graduate up to some fancier pens. The mother of pearl varieties, some of them were popular as souvenirs, and some of them double. They have a letter opener as a handle. They're fairly easy to find and they're cheap.
Those are cool.
Yeah. So you don't have to spend a ton of money to get involved in dip pens, and they're fun and they're beautiful. So.
Yeah, they look really nice on the desk or in a desk tray,
or in my hand,
or in your hand. Yes.
So, pen shows, of course.
Pen shows.
Got some pen shows
DC.
coming up. Yep.
Oh my God. We leave on Thursday so that we can arrive on Friday. I know some people are always amazed at how much stuff we bring. And up until a couple shows ago, we used to fit everything into our old Saturn Ion. And we did an awesome job of getting all that stuff in there. We've now upgraded, but pen show prep takes about 2 weeks.
Yep.
We need to repair any vintage pens we've added to the inventory and price them. My personal least favorite thing in the world to do is price pens.
Well, that's why I do it now. I don't even ask.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
If it's too expensive, it's too cheap. It is what it is. So
yeah. And then we start to double check our inventory, place any pre-show reorders with our vendors. I start to print and pad any paper that needs to be restocked. Then it takes about, this sounds crazy, it sounds obsessive maybe, it takes about 5 days to pack and repack everything into boxes. It's kind of a game to see how much stuff we can pack into each box, and the goal is no empty space. Even in the new larger Penmobile, it's still a game of Tetris to get everything in the car. Brian is incredibly smart, and he's going to be leaving for work early on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
It's safer for him that way. And I pack the car. It's not as much fun as you might think it is. And there involves a lot of frustrated comments and at least 2 entire repacks of the car before I'm satisfied. The kids know just to help me haul the boxes out to the car and then just leave me alone.
Yeah, you don't like to price pens, and I don't like to pack the car, so I think it's a pretty fair trade.
We work well together. Yeah. We also take pictures. This is smart, actually. It sounds a little obsessional, but we take pictures of both the inside of many of the boxes and, more importantly, of the car fully packed so that we know how to do it again next trip,
Yep.
Depending on which boxes we've saved.
Yep.
So...
We're looking forward to seeing Eric Schneider from FP Geeks.
Absolutely.
And his own personal paparazzi, Juan Carlos. So it'd be good to see those guys again. Unfortunately, Dan Smith will not be making the trip this time around, but this is Eric's first time in D.C., so it's going to be fun to see his reaction.
I've got Advil if you need it, Eric.
I don't know if it's going to be Advil he needs. I think he's going to need a drink.
Yep.
He has gone to the LA show, so he does know kind of what he's in for. But DC is different. I mean, every show is different, and DC is you have the ink sampler tables open 24/7. I'm sure he's going to be spending a great deal of time there.
I think we should try something sort of like the FP Geek spy cam. I think at like 2 a.m, we should go downstairs and see if Eric is there at the ink testing table.
That's a great idea. I wonder if he's listening. He's going to be listening to this. I'm
Eric,
totally
we'll meet you
doing
there
that.
Saturday morning, 2 a.m.
I'm totally doing that. I think we're doing dinner with them Friday, Saturday, something like that. So
I think we're going to aim for Friday.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to see him, and of course every other person in the pen community is going to be there. I mean, there's just too many people to list. It's going to be a good time.
Yep. And we have a meeting with a potential publisher about the book, which is really exciting.
Yep. So that's great. Anything else this week? I guess let's not forget about the Sheaffer Package Giveaway.
That's a big one. Let's not leave that out.
That's why we're wearing, if you can see, the Sheaffer shirts.
Ta-da!
Until August 25th, we will accept letters and postcards for our podcast drawing on August 26th. On that day, the winner will be offered his or her choice of a Sheaffer 100 pen, very much like this one here. They also get their choice of a bottle of Sheaffer ink, and a notepad.
Awesome. The pen color choices are the brushed chrome that Brian snagged, glossy black, the matte blue, which is really pretty, the matte gray, which is kind of cool, translucent blue, which I think our friend Dave got.
He got the red.
Oh, or the translucent red, like our friend Dave bought.
Both nice colors, yep.
Nib choices are fine or medium, which makes it easy. And the winner will also choose from the 8 Sheaffer bottled ink colors, and we'll toss in a notepad as well.
So pen, paper, and ink, all to the winner. So
Awesome. Send your entry in the form of a postcard or a letter. No emails, texts, or other electronic entries allowed. We want it written. Mail them to us at Anderson Pens Sheaffer Giveaway, P.O. Box 732, Appleton, Wisconsin 54912.
The winner will be drawn at random by our daughter Lindsay during the podcast. So,
does she know that yet?
We'll break it to her soon enough. If she wants her allowance or food or
something, yeah,
roof over her head or something.
There you go. I think that's it for this week.
All right. Comments, suggestions for topics, use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, P.O. Box 732, Appleton, Wisconsin 54912.
Or catch us online.
Email Brian at andersonpens.net.
Or Lisa at andersonpens.net.
We are on Twitter, twitter.com/AndersonPens.
Facebook is facebook.com/AndersonPens.
On the web, of course, andersonpens.net.
And definitely check out the blog, andersonpens.net/blog.
And join our mailing list for advance notice of upcoming events or pre-orders. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We'll see you next week.
Bye.